And now from TreasureIslandOldies.com, here's the rock and roll news for the week of June 9th. And in this week, we've got some debuts. 1959, Bobby Darin made his Las Vegas debut, and he opened for George Burns at the Sahara Hotel. Tony Bennett debuted at the Carnegie Hall in New York City this week in 1962. And in 1966, Janis Joplin had her debut with Big Brother and the Holding Company at the Avalon Ballroom in San Francisco. Chicago police broke up a Rolling Stones press conference that took place right in the middle of Michigan Avenue this week in 1964. A fire in a London recording studio interrupted the Rolling Stones' recording of their Beggars Banquet album in 1968. In 1957, Elvis's double-sided hit Teddy Bear and Loving You was released. In 1962, Brenda Lee was hospitalized with a dislocated neck. She suffered that injury while performing at the Latin Casino in New Jersey. The following year, she graduated from Hollywood Professional High School, and by the time she graduated the following year, 1963, she had already earned 12 top 10 hits. The Beatles were announced this week in 1965 as the recipients of the Member of the British Empire Award, and they were going to be bestowed on individual members of the band by Queen Elizabeth of England. Sonny and Cher made their first TV appearance this week in 1965, and it was on American Bandstand. The Dave Clark Five broke a record for rock performers as they appeared for the 12th time on The Ed Sullivan Show this week in 1966. Bill Haley's Rock Around the Clock was originally released this week in 1954 to no success. When it was part of the movie Blackboard Jungle the following year, it reached number 1. Mick Taylor joined the Rolling Stones, replacing Brian Jones this week in 1969. Jerry Lee Lewis got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1989. Patsy Cline suffered a fractured hip and head injuries in a Madison, Tennessee car crash in 1961. In 2003, Jerry Marsden from Jerry and the Pacemakers was awarded a Member of the British Empire Medal by Queen Elizabeth in London. Carole King received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1989. In 1966, Elvis's movie Paradise Hawaiian Style was sneak previewed in Memphis, opening nationally a month later. Eddie Kendricks was arrested at the funeral of fellow Temptations member David Ruffin for non-payment of child support this week in 1991. And in 1965, Sonny and Cher's hit single I Got You Babe was released. In the studio, Elvis recorded 2 live albums at Madison Square Garden in New York City in 1972 this week. The evening concert was released a week later, with the afternoon show being released many years later in 1997. The Monkees began recording Pleasant Valley Sunday in 1967. The Stones cut part of their 12x5 album, including It's All Over Now, at the legendary Chess Studios in Chicago, Illinois in 1964. Manfred Mann recorded Doo-Wah Diddy Diddy in 1964 as well. In 63, the Beach Boys cut Surfer Girl and Little Deuce Coupe. Grand Funk recorded We're American Band in 1973. The Monkees began recording Daydream Believer in 67. Bob Dylan cut Like a Rolling Stone this week in 1965. Ricky Nelson recorded It's Up to You in 62. Fats Domino recorded I'm Going to Be a Big Wheel Someday in 58. Elvis cut A Fool Such as I and A Big Hunk of Love this week in 1958 while he was on leave from the U.S. Army. Birthdays: Jackie Wilson, born 1934. Johnny Ace, born in 29. Les Paul was born in 1915. Shirley Owens Alston from the Shirelles is 72. James Pookie Hudson, the lead singer of the Spaniels, born in 1934. Judd Strunk, born in 1936. Shirley Owens Alston from the Shirelles, Joey D rather, is 73. I already told you about Shirley from the Shirelles. Judd Strunk, born in 1936. Reg Presley from the Trogs, born this week, 1942. Sadly passed away earlier this year in February. Bobby Freeman is 73. Bo Donaldson, 63. Jorge Santana from Malo is 59. Rod Argent from the Zombies and later with Argent itself was 68. Junior Walker, born 1931. Burl Ives, born 1909. Harry Nilsson was born in 1941. David Rose, 1910. Waylon Jennings in 1937. Len Barry turned 71. And Rocky Burnett, the son of Johnny Burnett, is 60 this week. And from treasureislandoldies.com, that's your rock and roll news for the week of June 9th. Come to the Treasure Island Oldies blog for all late-breaking news. You can get to it by coming to treasureislandoldies.com and then click blog. Thanks for listening. I'm Michael Godin.
Treasure Island Oldies.